Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to Unity Church-Unitarian, to those of you here in the pews and to those of you joining online, however far away you may be. I'm Reverend Lara Cowton. I'm Unity's Minister of Congregational Care, and I bid you all welcome as we gather to celebrate and remember the life of Judy Delmain. We gather to mourn and to celebrate and to say goodbye. And following our service today, you are invited to gather in our parish hall just out here with Judy's friends and family for a reception. But for now, I welcome you into this space, into this place where sorrow and joy and memory and hope join to create a living memory of Judy, whose presence in this life brought spirit and sustenance to so many, and bringing joyful noises into this space with us now as we gather. Today, we join in the ancient tradition of celebrating a life well lived. We do this in song and in story and in music and in silence and in prayer. The gift of this ritual is that these acts of remembrance will themselves become a source of sustenance for those of us who live on with these memories. We are mindful that many faith traditions inform each one of our individual spiritual journeys, and we hold in gratitude the foundations of love and service that those traditions hold in common. In keeping with our tradition, the Unitarian Universalist tradition practiced at Unity Church, we light a chalice flame which transforms cold, hard wax into pure light and warmth to remind us of our own living. It transforms the stuff of this world into love and activity of our daily lives. And so we bring light. As we remember Judy today, may this day bring forth transformation in ourselves as well. From grief, healing. From memory, wholeness. And from celebration, love. In the presence of life, we say no to death. And in the presence of death, we say yes to life. Will you please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing the hymn number 205 in the gray hymnals in front of you in the pews, Amazing Grace. We come together in community this way to acknowledge both our individual and collective grief, to share what is gone from our lives because Judy Delmain has died, and also what is in our lives because she has lived. So during this time we have together, and in the days and the weeks and years ahead, feel your grief. Do not hold back your tears if they come. They are the rain of your friendship. Taste the salt of your love. And do not hold back your smiles or your laughter if they come with a remembrance, because they are the expression of the joy of your friendship and the sweetness of your love. Before the wonder of living and dying, we are humbled. In the midst of our sorrow and our grief, we feel a sacred connection with one another. Out of our memories and our affections flows a thanksgiving. So this is why we gather together, because with one another, in our compassion and love and shared experience with one another, the healing begins. I invite you to join me for a moment of silence together, to engage in a moment of your own prayer, your own reflection, your own meditation, in whatever your way is, to remember the person that Judy was and how she touched your life with gratitude as we prepare together to say our farewell.
We're going to be reading The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor.
Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight.
The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in.
Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from above.
wings of clay won't weigh me down. On my way to heaven from the potter's ground. These shoes of wood won't splinter my feet along the garden path, a tall flowering grass. I know where I'm going to be. I know people are waiting for me. I know you'll come after me, these wings of clay. This mountain top ain't too high for me. Been waiting for years just to feel this free. Swing chariots low, come and carry me home. To the kingdom come, to see everyone. I'm gonna paddle from Seattle to Superior on a shimmering blue. And I'll be able at the table of the man born in the stable to be all new. These roads of water are gonna keep me dry, wash away my flaws, sown in love's pure light. These roads of water gonna keep me dry in the pastures green, goodness and right. I know where I'm going to be. I know animals and people are waiting for me. I know you'll come after me, these roads of water. These wings of clay won't weigh me down. On my way to heaven from the potter's ground.
I invite those offering remembrances to come forward at this time.
I would like to introduce Carol Soto. Carol was my mother's student as a sixth grader. As a young girl, I remember my mom having endless phone conversations with Carol. And then Carol's children, Elby, Angie, and Alicia, became part of our family and became grandchildren of my mother and father's heart. And now I get to have endless phone conversations with Carol. I'll let you tell more.
I would like to start out by thanking the family of Miss Delmain for giving me this opportunity to speak at her memorial. I have known Miss Domain since I was in 6th grade. There are so many wonderful things to say about her. I will share some of my memories with you. Miss Domain was my 6th grade teacher at Bryant Junior High School. From the beginning, I found her to be very supportive and interested in what was good for me. Miss Domain was my special education teacher, and she always stressed that having difficulties with certain academics did not diminish my talents in other areas such as music and athletics. Miss Domain used my interests as a teaching tool. For example, when she learned I was interested in Black history, she bought me the autobiography of Malcolm X and suggested I read a few pages a day. This increased my knowledge in many areas and helped me to become a stronger reader. When a guidance counselor told me that I was not college material and did not encourage me to continue my education, Ms. Domain made sure I understood I could do whatever I desired to do and willing, as long as I was willing to work at it. Ms. Domain helped me transition to Minneapolis Central High School a year earlier, mostly because I had a bad experience with the 9th grade band teacher. I had earned many awards playing the bass clarinet and was being recruited for his band. But because of my negative experience with him, I did not want to work under him. Ms. Domain not only helped me navigate this situation, but she also helped me to become a stronger student and person. After my transfer to Minneapolis Central, I became a special education tutor to assist other students with their journey. Because of my hard work and Ms. Domain's caring and assistance, I no longer qualified for special education services. Ms. Domain helped me to see myself as a role model and fueled my desire to become a teacher. I wanted to give others the chance Ms. Domain had given me. After graduation, Ms. Domain assisted me in applying and enrolling at Concordia College. She and Kermit attended my first basketball game at Concordia. I remember how shocked she was and how excited she was when she saw what I could do on the court. By the way, that was my best game ever. When I gave birth to my son, Albie, he had a medical issue and was in intensive care. Ms. Domain and Kermit wanted to support me and see my first child. I passed Ms. Domain and her husband on as my son's grandparents so they could meet him at the hospital. In fact, Ms. Domain and Kermit became grandparent figures to all 3 of my children. My family spent time at Ms. Domain's home enjoying her husband's Kermit's special chili. Albie, my oldest child, still remembers how Kermit would top their Christmas tree with his baseball cap. Ms. Domain's support and recommendation helped me to find my first position at Minneapolis Public Schools, where I worked for 25 years and will retire this June. Miss Domain is special for many reasons. For me, her efforts as an educator truly changed my life. She met students on their level and built upon their successes. She got to know them as people and incorporated their interests into her teaching. She made a special effort to help students see their unique talents and to recognize their accomplishments. Ms. Domain did not give up on anyone. Over the years, Ms. Domain invited me to call her Judy. Excuse me. I'm almost done. But I could never bring myself to do it. She will always be Miss Domain to me, a respected teacher, a mentor, who, if I could, I would give the Teacher of a Lifetime award to. Thank you, Ms. Domain, and know that you have impacted the lives of many, and that they have, in turn, impacted the lives of many, and so your legacy will continue. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm one of Judy's longest friends. We go back a long way. One of the things that comes to my mind in thinking about Judy and remembering her is she fully embraced life. For example, one year she said, "This is the year of the body." We threw ourselves into exercise with abandon. We would come out of the gym in the middle of winter with wet hair because we just couldn't bother taking any time to do anything but showering off. And as we would walk to the parking lot in the middle of winter with our hair wet, ice crystals would form in our hair, and we would shake and rattle and roll and just laugh hysterically over that silly little thing. It was a small, delightful reward for a vigorous workout. Judy was a citizen of the world. She and Kermit traveled the world. She loved meeting folks from all over the world. One of her great joys was learning from other people. She experimented with other cultures' recipes from around the world. She cared about others. She cared about others' children of the world, and she contributed to their well-being. She loved the outdoors. She and Kermit spent many summers in the Boundary Waters canoeing. One time when I was with them, we were in the middle of a remote lake. The sun was very warm. Of course, we wanted to take advantage of the gorgeous weather, so we took off our shirts. The guys were a bit panicked about the bare-breasted situation. What if someone comes by? Oh my God, what if someone comes by? The guys were all in a twitter. Of course, it didn't take long for a tiny, tiny, tiny little canoe way off in the distance. We could see them. And they're like, "Okay, put your clothes on, put your clothes on." We are having none of it. And sure enough, we're canoeing along, canoe gets bigger and bigger, and it turns out that it was a giant Voyager canoe with 12 bare-breasted women, just having the time of their life. We laughed so hard. It was just hysterical. Anyway, I will leave you with this quote. I know we were pretty naughty at times. It's by James Baldwin, and I think Judy would have greatly appreciated this quote. It stands for how she thought about life. And here's the quote: "For nothing is fixed forever and forever and forever. It is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born.
We are responsible to them because we are their only witnesses. We are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out. James Baldwin.
Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Delmy. I'm going to do my best here, but first I just want to say I think the person we are is really we're a result of all those people who have touched us. And I think most of us will agree that mothers touch us more than most. And have a lot to do with who we are. So I'm going to talk about my mother, but before I get into it, it was definitely a team effort. And I was fortunate to have parents who gave me a lot of things. But I'm going to talk about my mother and how much I was given. Because that's so much of it I still enjoy. I was recently in the Boundary Waters, something I grew up with, and came out of the Boundary Waters and checked my phone and was able to make it in time to be with my mother. On her last night. And I don't know how conscious she was, but I said, Mom, thanks for bringing me up in the Boundary Waters. I enjoy camping, I enjoy skiing, I enjoy the outdoors, and those are the things that I was brought up with. I was brought up to be an environmentalist, to respect the environment, and I think my whole family embraces that. Of course, my mother's an educator. She had a great influence on all of us. Myself and all my siblings were our teachers. And some of my mother's grandchildren are also in education. She was very committed to diversity. I was so fortunate to grow up in a house with lots of people coming by. Very diverse group. People from many demographics. Wonderful people. I'm glad some of them are here tonight, this afternoon. We had to do a lot of chores. We were given good work ethics. I still know how to work hard. We probably didn't appreciate it so much then, but I do appreciate it. Did not grow up going to any church, but I feel like I was given a very strong moral compass. I remember trips all over, Christmases up in the North Woods, cross-country skiing. I remember as a family maple syruping, tapping trees, harvesting sap, something I still do with my own children today. And I remember how my mom encouraged me, helped me with my writing, and really mentored me as I was seeking education and of so many things I became involved in. And I'm just so grateful I was able to be with her that last night. Say some of these things to her.
Such beautiful remembrances. And each and every one of you has your own remembrances. I encourage you to share them with one another or to write them for yourself. We are gathered here today to celebrate the extraordinary life of Judith Ellen Delmain, a woman whose boundless love and kindness and generosity touched so many people. Judy was born in Gig Harbor, Washington, a place that nurtured her deep appreciation for natural beauty. Her love for the outdoors was evident throughout her life, from her childhood home on Puget Sound to the majestic Mount Rainier, where she worked during her youth. Judy brought this love of nature with her to Minnesota, becoming an avid canoeist and camper, making annual trips to the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, and we've just heard a little bit about what that feels like up there. When the lakes were frozen, she enjoyed cross-country skiing, and together, Judy and her husband Kermit passed these outdoor traditions to their children and grandchildren, fostering a lifelong appreciation for the beauty of the natural world. Judy's brother, Larry Anderson, shared a memory of helping her to acquire a driver's license. Judy didn't learn to drive until her middle 20s, and being her brother, she'd asked Larry to ride with her so she could practice driving. They did this practice in a VW Bug with a manual floor shift. Anyone remember those? The session ended abruptly as she sideswiped two parked cars in the university area of Seattle. Well, that ended Larry's tutelage, and she did eventually get her driver's license. Faye Anderson, Judy's sister-in-law, reminisced about their berry-picking adventures. Judy had a special knack for turning these simple excursions into cherished family events. They traveled to the Boundary Waters to pick blueberries, but Judy's favorite was the raspberry. She called it razzleberry. Her love for these simple pleasures in life brought family and friends together, creating lasting memories. Whether out picking the berries themselves or making jellies and jams from them, or just sharing the bounty with anyone who could use a berry. Her joy in these activities was infectious. Judy's son, Justin, eloquently expressed his gratitude for the gift of a lifetime filled with love, kindness, generosity, and laughter. Judy's life and her legacy of loving her children and teaching them nurture, this spirit is carried on through her children and grandchildren. And Millie, Judy's granddaughter, she cherishes the time she spent with her grandparents, Judy and Kermit, in cornucopia, and the lessons of kindness and compassion that were imparted there. Millie specifically remembered helping Judy to set up goods and foods to assist those in need during a particularly harsh winter. Just a testament to Judy's generous spirit and dedication to helping others, this food shelf that she created for a community in need. But aside from that, Millie is especially grateful for the introduction to peanut butter blossoms. So Judy was not just a loving mother to her children, Justin and Paul, and Jillian and Amy, but also an extraordinary educator who worked more than 30 years in the Minneapolis public schools. Her daughter Jillian shares how Judy's innovative and culturally relevant teaching methods at St. Joseph's Home for children touched the lives of many students. And her dedication and her ability to build meaningful relationships with them was truly remarkable, as we have heard from Carol. Jillian recalled that Judy's lessons were multimedia events, incorporating video clips and maps and art and music and readings long before such teaching practices became standard. Her ability to engage students who had not experienced success in their pasts was a testament to her unique talent as an educator. One reward for her students was a chance to join Judy in a run around Lake Harriet. What a wonderful gold star that would be. Her approach to education was ahead of its time, focusing on holistic and immersive learning experiences that captivated her students' imaginations and helped them to see the world in new ways and to be in the world in new ways. Her passion for gardening and her love for flowers, especially pansies, which she said looked like little faces, were well known among her family. And beginning from when her children were little, they would help her plant gardens every spring, and every Mother's Day, the children would buy a flat of pansies, continuing this beloved tradition, which you will see in the lovingly painted little pots in the parish hall, filled with cheerful faces of pansies. When Judy and Kermit moved to Cornucopia, Judy's gardens flourished with her meticulous care. Her daughter recalls an instance where Judy had her actually dig up and move border flowers just an inch to the left to meet the precise standards of beauty. These details and these attentions to detail and her love for creating beautiful things in her surroundings produced gardens for all to enjoy, both humans and creatures, because indeed there were many pollinators hanging out in Judy's garden. Karen, a dear friend and colleague, recalls wonderful years that they spent teaching together and earning their master's degrees as well. She remembers Judy's unwavering support and her ability somehow to make hard work enjoyable and feel like less of a chore. She talks about how they balance their rigorous studies with physical fitness, activities like cross-country skiing, and then there was the joy of indulging in ice cream, hence the balance. There were these ice cream sundaes at Bridgman's in Dinkytown that became a bit of a tradition. Now, Judy's husband, Kermit, played a significant role during this time of getting this master's degree, taking care of the children and driving them to Big Boy Lake on weekends so that Judy and Karen could focus on their studies and their jogging and ice cream eating. Judy and Karen's decision to pursue their master's degree in special education was driven by a shared commitment to helping students who face significant challenges, and their collaboration was marked throughout their lives and careers with a mutual respect and a deep bond of friendship. Now, Judy and Kermit, also known as Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa, they were known for their exceptional hospitality, opening their home to friends and visitors and apparently even entire rock bands. Their home was a haven of warmth and love, filled with laughter and music and the delicious aromas of food, always food. A place where everyone felt welcome and cherished, and where everyone was well fed. Many became part of their extended family. Is it Justin who's joining us online? Extended family from a distance. Extended family and people in the community who experienced the love and generosity that Kermit offered so freely. A true reflection of their generous spirit and care and compassion for one another and for others. Her legacy clearly extends beyond immediate family. She was also a proud sponsor and host mother to many international students, offering them a home away from home and enriching their lives with her warmth and generosity. And her tutelage. What a wonderful mentor. During her retirement, Julie became a valued community member in Cornucopia, helping to establish the area's first food shelf. But her dedication to helping those in need throughout her life was really the cornerstone of who she was. And her efforts have left a lasting impact on the community in Cornucopia, as well as many other places. But Judy's involvement in the food shelf echoed her commitment to social justice in so many ways. Judy's daughter, Jillian, shared how she was supported through the birth of her daughter, Ruby, and how she and Ruby lived with Judy and Kermit during Ruby's early years. And Judy's support and love for them at this time were invaluable. And also her joy in seeing her granddaughter grow was tremendous. Judy loved life and all living beings. Driving up to the cabin with the car loaded with 4 kids and their dogs and their cats and their guinea pigs and all their gear, she and Kermit would still stop to pick up hitchhikers on the way. The more the merrier on the way up to enjoy the beautiful, dramatic sunset over the Puget Sound with a glass of wine in one hand, surrounded by the sounds of love and nature and family. Judy's life was a tapestry, woven with love and laughter, and the deep connections that she made with those around her. Her legacy will continue to inspire all who knew her to live with the same generosity and kindness and joy that she embodied. As we bid farewell to Judy, as we celebrate her remarkable life, let us hold close the indelible mark that she's left on each heart that she touched. Her spirit lives on in the stories that we share, and we have only just begun to share these stories today. Her spirit lives on in the values that she has instilled in those lives who've been touched by her, whether they knew her or not. The ripples of this one precious life are vast. The love that she spread so generously is now ours to share. And so, rest in eternal peace, dear Judy. You will be deeply missed and lifted in the stories and in the hearts and in the lives of those who remember. Rest in eternal peace, dear Judy. I invite you to rise in body and spirit and join in singing a hymn with the lyrics printed in your program, I'll Fly Away. Holy One, great Spirit of life's design, we are gathered today humbled by the weaving of joy and woe, with hearts filled with both grief and gratitude for the life of Judy Delmain. This we know, all life is a gift. Judy's life was a gift. Judy will be remembered for her generosity and compassion and inquisitive mind, for her love of learning, of life, of adventure, this love that inspired so many others. In the days ahead, in honor and in gratitude of Judy's life and for the time left in our own lives, may we bring joy and laughter into our days and into the days of others. May we be kind and thoughtful and generous and sincere. May our hospitality be wide and generous. May we offer radical welcome to all in need. May we embrace the outdoors and create beautiful, colorful gardens filled with smiling faces. May we make time for family and appreciate music. And may we then pause in the midst of any day and breathe in the gift that is our own life and give thanks for that living memory of Judy Delmain as we continue to spread the joy of her life, which has now become our shared legacy. With love and with gratitude, we lift this prayer and we say, Amen. Amen. May it be so. Judy, may the universe receive you and hold you in the greater oneness of everything. May you be whole and at peace. And to those who love you and mourn for you, you will always be in their learning and their teaching and their generous hospitality and their radical welcoming of others. They're exploring and adventuring. They're living life to its fullest, regardless of challenges that threaten to slow people down. May you go knowing that you are well remembered. And may the great spirit of life and love fill all the hearts that are present here with comfort and peace. In the spirit of love, we have gathered. In the spirit of love, we depart. We extinguish our flame, but as we do, we know that the candle of life still burns within each one of us, and the light of Judy's heart still shines within our own.